Alright, Shalom. Want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shamya Shai. Give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and sincere elect. It's Makazar from the Trinidad Camp. Just want to do a little quick edification, for the younger brothers' sake. Alright, and we see that we entering closer and closer to the time that the Lord about to visit the earth. When the Lord gonna make that grand appearance. Alright. But until that time, we still had to endure in this truth. Right? See, we have Passover coming up, and usually around Passover every year, see brothers, before, during, and after, see brothers falling out, wherever the case is, brothers getting weak, getting faint-hearted, getting disenchanted, wherever the case is, and taking back their hand from the plow. Alright? So there's a little exhortation that brothers don't get weak, because the scriptures talk about the ones that fell on stony ground, and because of offenses they fell off. Well, however, whatever avenue the offenses can be, because of the doctrine, all right, because we see sad to hear about that brother Knowledge, he left the camp, all right, because of offenses and things like that, all right. And hey, for all you know, that could probably cause some brothers to get weak, because he in the truth, roughly 20 years, and everybody looking up to him like a pillar in the truth, alongside with the apostles. So when you see somebody like that fall off, then you might think to yourself, well, who am I? And that might make you weak. But now that is supposed to make you weak. That is supposed to increase your fear in the Most High. Right? That's supposed to increase your faith. You might see a brother catching hell, and you might one day like, hey, there's the truth. Nah, that is how Satan plays your mind, bringing in that doubt, that spirit of doubt. Alright? So with everything we go through, we always had to be strong in this. We always had to pray for patience and pray for faith to endure. Alright? So let's want to go straight to the scriptures. This is 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 19. For this is thankworthy, if a man for conscience towards Yahweh endure grief, suffering wrongly. Alright, so hey, the scriptures say if you do good, basically you receive good. But being in this truth, you had to suffer. Suffering's gonna come. Mentally or physically, suffering's gonna come. So you just had to learn to suffer, learn to deal with it. Because that is what purifies you, that is what makes you into a man of the Lord. Alright, because coming in this truth, we're babes. But the Lord grooming us into being men to rule the kingdom to come. Alright, sometimes you might go through things, a judgment might be passed down, and you might think you suffer wrongly for it, but all you have to do just bear that burden and just continue this road. Alright, and once you showing the Most High, because the Most High are the pleased at the end of the day, once you showing the Most High that you for him no matter what, that is well pleasing in the Lord's eyes, because the scripture said it pleased the Lord to bruise his son. So much more us. It says, for what glory is it if when ye be buffed for your faults, ye shall take it patiently? But if when you do well and suffer for it, so it shows you right there. You do good, you're gonna get suffer. You're gonna suffer. You do bad, you're gonna suffer. So being a part of this truth, all right. One of the job criteria of being in this truth is enduring sufferings. All right, and coming into the truth, you should learn that hey, count the cost. Make up your mind to suffer, because you're gonna suffer. So don't let you reach 2, 3, 5, 6 or 20 years in the truth, and then a little tribulation, a little sufferings come, and then you find that when it was in the world, you wasn't getting as much pain as in the truth. So you try to backstep and go to that comfort zone, going back into the world. Guess what? That is for your death. So don't let that turn you away. Don't let that hinder you, impede you from continuing this road. The scripture say, what son is there that a father don't chasten? So once you see that you're going through, like, hey, the Most High dealing with you as a son, so you just had to man up and take it. Don't let that sway you from following this road at all. Alright? It says, but if ye, when you do well, ye suffer for it, ye take it patiently. That is the key thing. You have to take it patiently. This is acceptable with Yahweh. For even unto ye, for even here unto you were called. So if through this process you was called, just like Ezra said, even so is Israel's portion. Even here unto you were called. You were called unto this suffering, to bear this cross. Because Mashiach also suffered for us, leaving us an example that ye should follow in his steps. So Yahushua went through this, so we had to go through this. Alright, Yahushua ain't going through this by himself. We going through this too as brethren. Join ears with Yahushua, be that we part of the hopeful elect. Alright, we had to go through this too. So just man up and just take wherever the Lord send your way. Alright, don't let a few words turn your way. Alright, you at first you mightn't understand a breakdown, but hey, by and by, as you grow in the spirit, you will understand it. Now because you didn't understand it the first time around, don't get offended over that and say, well, now the apostles going off and you want to go and do something else. Then guess what? That is only to your death. That was your stumbling block. The scripture said, stumble at the word. These men in the truth, how much he is just to pay trust into them, that and trusting in these men is trusting Yahushua dealing with them. Because over and over the Lord proving them, showing that guess what? He dealing with them. So if they do a breakdown and you don't understand, hey, just search the scriptures, just pray and ask the Lord to reveal it to you, and the Lord will. Alright, nothing to get offended off of. Just ask questions. If you didn't get a proper breakdown to understand, hey, just send a message, say, Apostle, if you could probably go into it a little bit more and clarify it. Not to be like a bitch and getting all mushy off it and all emotional. Nah, that is to your own downfall. And that's gonna cause you evidently to fall off from the truth. Alright? It says, verse 22, it says, who did no sin, neither was guile found in him. So Yahushua didn't do nothing and Yahushua suffered. So how much more we that been living a sinful life, coming into this truth, how much more we gonna suffer? So just make up your mind to go through the motion. Alright, we're gonna suffer. Alright? These 1 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 1. It says, wherefore when we could no longer forbear, we thought it good to be left at Athens alone, and sent Timotheus our brother and minister of Yahweh, and our fellow laborer in the gospel of Mashiach, to establish you and to comfort you concerning your faith. And that is what we're doing right now. Through the Spirit of the Most High, comforting you through your faith, comforting you through the afflictions that you're going through. Because some brothers might think that, hey, the whole world against them, and the affliction that they're going through is that nobody else in GMS going through that. It's only them. But guess what? Other brothers going through it. It have other brothers around the world going through it. But guess what? They just trying to be more manly with it and just take it as it comes. So don't get weak when you feel like every day something, just bear with it. Paul say at first it don't be good, but guess what? You just have to learn to live with it. Just learn to live with it. Alright, the scripture say what happening to you ain't uncommon to what happening to anybody else. Just talk to somebody. Somebody could comfort you through the scriptures. Don't seclude yourself in a corner and just wrapped up and say, nah, I want to talk to nobody. I just, I'm a mind heavy, wherever the case, and then sit and start fucking with your mind. And at the end of the day, guess what? You don't want to be a part of this truth no more, because when you add one and one together, then the only variable that ain't adding up is the truth. Everything else before the truth, you was living a peaceful life, but as you come into the truth, it's like all the world against you. So then in your mind, you thinking that coming out the truth gonna make things better, but guess what? That will be for your own downfall. Enjoying this truth no matter what. Going on. It says, verse 3, that no man should be moved by these afflictions. So you shouldn't be moved by these afflictions and fall out. Alright, you shouldn't be moved. When you see a brother fall out the truth, who you looked up, who you had in high esteem, and you see him fall because of affliction, guess what? Don't let that move you. When you see a brother catching hell left, right, and center because being in this truth, don't let that move you. Don't let that sway you from continuing this road. Alright? Don't let that turn you away at all. Alright? It says, for yourselves know that ye are appointed thereunto. So we've been taught that coming in this truth, that guess what, we're gonna suffer, so we had to learn. So we were appointed to that, just like Yahweh Shai Mashiach Nawa. Alright? Verse 4, it says, for verily, when we were with you, we told you before that ye should suffer tribulation. Alright? We told you you're gonna suffer tribulation. So why when it comes, it's like some new to you. Just deal with it. Just man up and deal with it. Stop sucking your mother titty milk and grow some balls, grow some guhunas. Alright? Even as it came to pass, and ye know, for this cause, when I could no longer forbear, I sent to know your fate, lest by some means the tempter have tempted you, and our labor was in vain. And how the tempter gonna come? When they catch you in all hell, you're gonna say, hey, you know what? Best just leave this truth. This truth ain't for you. That is why you're catching all these hell. The Lord ain't dealing with you. Look at all the other Archeum. They're peaceful, but you catching hell. And that is how Satan gonna get to your mind. You don't know what another brother going through. He don't have to tell you. He probably just bearing his cross silently. But he dealing with it. He already know what he going through. And he had to just deal with it. And he gonna cry like a little child. But you know, because you raised by a mother, alright, ain't no way it means to be a man. You gonna let a little affliction turn you from this truth. Come on, man. Just grow some balls. Just man up. Don't let nothing hinder you from continuing in this truth. Alright? This is John 14 verse 1. It says, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. So just like Yahweh promised that Israel will be comforted in the Old Testament, he showed the whole scriptures, and he believed in Yahweh. Believe Yahweh Shai, because the scripture says he is faithful that promised, and Yahweh Shai said that just like he overcame, we gonna overcome once we continue. Alright? He that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. Because you kept the word of my patience, I also will keep you from the hour of temptation. Just be faithful. Just hold fast to this truth. And let not your heart be troubled. Don't let your heart be troubled when you see men falling off because of the Passover coming up, because the Lord doing the house cleaning. Don't let your heart be troubled because you see older men in the truth than you bugging out. Don't let that trouble you. Don't let your heart be troubled when you're going through all your sufferings. Don't let that trouble you. Just endure. Because Yahweh Shai went through it and Yahweh Shai overcame. Alright? Just pray and ask the Lord Yahweh Shai for faith, hope, and for strength to endure. Alright? This is Hebrews. This is the final scripture here. This is Hebrews chapter 2 verse 10. I start at verse 9. But we see Yahweh Shai, who was made a little lower than the angels, for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor. So guess what? After suffering, gonna come a crown of glory and honor. But you have to go through that motion. That he, by the grace of Yahweh, should taste death for every man. For it became him of whom are all things, and by whom are all things, in bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. So Yahweh Shai was made perfect through sufferings, because sufferings and tribulation is what purifies us, passing us through the furnace of affliction. Isaiah 48 and 10. That is what makes us acceptable men and chosen and choice men. That is why you look at the picture, it says purification. Suffering is purification, like gold heated in clean. Impurities are burned away, and what remains is pure gold. And that is what the Lord wants, pure gold, because the impurities is the traditions and the things that we picked up in the world that the Lord trying to wean us from. One of the things is that bitch ass mentality, that bitch ass attitude. The Lord weaning us from that. Alright? Which is whole. So the Lord trying to make us into complete men. That which is one thing shall not be numbered. So we have to be whole and complete, acceptable and precious to the Creator. God is holy and He expects us to be holy. With that, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the men of the hopeful and saints elect. Hold on to this truth. We're almost out of here. Shalom.